The overdose reversing drug naloxone is now in short supply in our state. I'm Caroline Forback, and I'll have that story straight ahead.
I'm Kendall Lewis, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you how a mind-over-muscle attitude led one student athlete to take home an Olympic gold medal.
A WVU fraternity brother's racist Snapchat video toward a local bartender has gone public. I'm Megan Guerra, and I'll tell you how students are reacting. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
It's been nearly 30 years since teachers in the Mountain State went on strike. I'm Megan Beshara.
And I'm Mariah Conjito. The life-saving drug Narcan is not an easy solution to West Virginia's opioid epidemic.
These stories and more on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
West Virginia's teachers are the 48th lowest paid in the country, and now they're saying enough is enough.
That's right, Mariah. Teachers took to the streets during a statewide strike. They're demanding better pay and better benefits. Noelle Ford joins us now in the studio with more. Noelle?
Classes were canceled in all 55 counties as nearly 20,000 teachers walked out of their schools on February 22nd. Many of them descended on West Virginia's capital in Charleston to protest. In addition to rising insurance costs, teachers in West Virginia aren't happy with the recent 2% pay raise. Governor Jim Justice signed legislation with this bump in pay on February 21st. Teachers walked out the day after. Teachers in surrounding states make $5,000 to $20,000 more than West Virginia teachers. The last statewide teacher strike in West Virginia took place in 1990 and lasted 11 days. In response to the strike, Governor Justice has agreed to give teachers a 5% pay raise and promised to focus on the problem of rising insurance costs for public employees. Teachers and students have returned to school in all 55 counties.
Thanks, Noelle. Fighting to save lives. It's a constant battle for first responders when it comes to opioid crisis across our state.
Naloxone, or Narcan, is a medicine used by first responders when they suspect someone has overdosed. It essentially revives victims.
Caroline Forback joins us now in the studio with more. Caroline?
Thanks, Mariah. As overdose-related incidents hit record numbers, every officer in Monongalia County is now issued naloxone in the field to combat the opioid epidemic. With a 25% increase in drug overdose deaths in West Virginia, EMS officials count on Narcan to save lives. But this overdose-reversing drug is in short supply in rural West Virginia. I spoke to local officials to find out how it works. West Virginia law enforcement officers are carrying a tool that can revive anyone from an opioid overdose. West Virginia has the highest rate of overdose deaths in the nation. Lauren Martin has already lost one close friend to an overdose, and she worries that she might lose another.
He started doing drugs again, but he hadn't been doing them for a while, so like his tolerance was like a lot lower, so he like did the same amount of heroin that he normally does. And he OD'd, and his friend like didn't call the police in time for them to come back and like save him.
But not every overdose has to end in tragedy thanks to this life-saving tool in the hands of West Virginia law enforcement. Naloxone is a rescue medicine that temporarily reverses the effects of an opioid overdose. The state distributed over 8,000 kits in 2017. The kits contain a device that shoots naloxone spray up the individual's nose, where it is absorbed and transferred to the bloodstream. Every police vehicle has a naloxone kit in the glove box. These kits are also distributed throughout the county in places like the Magistrate Court and public schools. Sergeant Dave Wilfong from the Monongalia County Sheriff's Department says that the kits are a proactive approach against the opioid epidemic.
The biggest thing that these kits do, though, is allow the person at least to make it to the treatment facility. So we can say that it's hard to tell how many lives we have possibly saved by doing that.
Martin is concerned that even naloxone won't break the cycle of addiction.
They're like not afraid to overdose because every time they do, they know that they're going to be brought back by it.
The kits are also available to the public at Milan Pushkar Health Right, but the health department has already run out of kits since they were donated by WVU in August. Last February, the state received a $1 million grant to distribute over 8,000 naloxone kits. By July, they were gone. A second federal grant is currently paying for naloxone in some counties in the state.
Thanks, Caroline. Officials at WVU are investigating a racist social media post uploaded by a student after it went viral across campus. And the post has caused Greek life organizations to take action as well.
The university says they are reviewing a possible violation of the Student Code of Conduct, which does not allow harassment. Lexi Marara joins us from Social Square to tell us more. Lexi?
Every year, the U.S. Department of Education sees about 150 cases of racial harassment happening on college campuses. Many students at WVU have come together to voice their opinions. Reporter Megan Guerra went out to see how they're reacting.
University of Alabama, George Washington University, and now our own campus. Just recently, a Theta Chi Brothers Snapchat story using racist language toward a local bartender has gone public. And WVU students spoke out to show that they don't stand with racism.
And I looked at it and I was like, this is actually happening here at WVU.
I remember my jaw dropping as I'm watching the video. It just is really such a shame that there's such a lack of intolerance and acceptance.
Officials at WVU have taken the situation very seriously. Just days following the Snapchat post, interfraternity council activities have been placed on a temporary suspension.
It's a terrible time to hear what we heard, but it's also great teachable moments and learning moments for all of us to figure out how do we minimize and stop this from happening.
This is the third known racially charged social media post from a Greek Life member in the past few weeks. With social media being an integral part of a college student's lifestyle, it makes it easier for posts like these to get attention.
I know that a lot of these situations have happened with members of Greek Life, and it really does sadden me to see that, because then it gives us a poor reflection. And Alpha Phi here at WVU, we are nothing but diverse and inclusive and accepting of everybody.
WVU prides itself on being a diverse and all-inclusive environment. If you or anyone you know is experiencing discriminatory behavior toward them, they are advised to file a claim with the Division of Diversity or Title IX. You can call the numbers at the bottom of your screen. Megan Guerra, WVU News, Morgantown.
So far, no further action has been taken by the university, but Theta Chi at WVU says the student who made the racial post is no longer affiliated with their organization.
Thanks, Lexi. Student athletes practice between 30 and 40 hours each week, while juggling an additional 15 to 20 hours of schoolwork.
Sports reporter Kendall Lewis spent the day with WVU student Ginny Thrasher, who tells us how both mental and physical health led her to win an Olympic gold medal.
Winning an Olympic gold medal takes more than just practice. Ginny Thrasher feels it is just as important to train her mental game as well as her physical one.
I'm really focused on the mental side of the sport personally, because I believe that at the top levels everyone has the same ability physically, so mental is really where the difference is made.
Her mind over muscle attitude is what many believe has made Ginny take home countless awards throughout her college athlete career, and head coach John Hammond was a huge help.
Between myself and Raymond, we wanted to change her mindset, how she approaches the sport, how she approaches training, and just the whole round mental side of the sport.
Thrasher was the first gold medalist of the 2016 Rio Summer Olympics. She was also named USA Shooting Athlete of the Year. Ginny was the first female WVU shooter to win a medal at the Olympic Games, but she had to give a little to get a lot.
I had to make a few sacrifices, so that summer I wasn't on social media at all because I felt that would be too distracting for me going into it, and it really helped me to stay focused on what I wanted to do.
Being a college athlete is challenging, but Ginny says time management, a consistent sleep schedule, and proper recovery is what gets her through it, and she wouldn't have it any other way. Kendall Lewis, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
With millions of viewers tuned into the Winter Olympics over the last 2 weeks, nations around the world got a first-hand look at many different sports, one of them being figure skating.
And right here at West Virginia University, our figure skaters are making their own headlines. Ben Murray joins us now in the studio with more. Ben?
Thanks, Megan. Recently, the WVU Figure Skating Club added a synchronized team, marking the first time the university has ever recognized such a team in school history. WVU Synchro is the only competitive synchronized ice skating team in the state. In January, they competed at the collegiate level for the first time, and they hope to keep on growing.
It's been 12 years since the start of the WVU figure skating team. Recently, they were able to add a synchronized group into the mix, which Teresia Galakova says brought them closer together.
We had individual competitions last year, and it wasn't really good for team cohesion. not many people were participating, and in this way we can have like a more team-oriented sport while still working on our individual skating.
However, there had been one issue that was stalling the formation of a synchronized team until this year.
The biggest thing holding us back up until now was just that we didn't have enough people.
Now, how many skaters does it take to compete in synchronized events? U.S. Figure Skating says teams must have at least 8 members to compete in synchronized events.
Finally getting over the hump and adding enough members to compete, the team believes that participating in synchronized competitions can help increase their numbers for the future.
There's a couple of girls from like the Nova area that didn't even know we had a team, but wanted to go here. They applied here, they just hadn't committed yet, but just the fact that we had a team made them commit.
In their first ever synchronized competition, the team placed 7th and then ended their season placing 2nd and taking the silver.
The competition season may be over, but the figure skating team still has a few more shows with the Mason-Dixon Figure Skating Club coming up in the next couple of weeks. And the WVU wrestling team also has some new additions. Siblings playing the similar sports is nothing new, but siblings playing the same sport at the same college is not common. Zeke and Cade Moisey represent one of 2 sets of brothers on head coach Sammy Henson's squad. Joel Norman has more.
Zeke Moisey has made his mark with the WVU wrestling program. A 2-time NCAA tournament participant and 2015 runner-up as a true freshman, Moisey is back to dominating the mat after missing last season due to another shoulder injury.
I've had 3 shoulder surgeries now, so I know what I needed to do to get back onto the mat.
His success is a big reason for why his younger brother Cade has followed him from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to Morgantown, West Virginia. Though he's redshirting this year, Cade has still competed regularly in unattached events. He's fine-tuning his skills in hopes of getting a starting spot next season.
I was questioning even if I was ready to be here. And then after a while, I kind of gradually adapted to it.
When Cade was looking for a school to go to, he saw his brother's success and hoped to achieve similar prosperity. The key to Zeke's success and the same reason Cade joined him at WVU, head coach Sammy Henson.
I've always just felt like he wanted me and that the camaraderie here was it was perfect for me.
Despite wrestling at different weight classes, the 2 brothers are very competitive with each other. Cade, who wrestles at 165 pounds, thinks he could defeat Zeke, who wrestles at 125 pounds. And of course, Zeke thinks he could defeat Cade. Their head coach has a pretty good idea of who he thinks would win.
Nah, I'd have to go with Zeke. But yeah, always go with the champ.
The 2 brothers hope to be in the same starting lineup next season and be regular teammates again for the first time since they were kids. Joel Norman, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
While Cade's season is finished, Zeke and the rest of the Mountaineers will travel to the Big 12 Championships in Tulsa, Oklahoma on March 3rd. After that, they will wait and see which wrestlers qualify for the NCAA Championships.
Thanks, Ben. The wrestling team will have a familiar face there to cheer them on. He wears a coonskin cap, carries a musket, and represents WVU.
That's right, Mariah. We're talking about the Mountaineer mascot. And this year's competition for the new mascot was fierce. Sports reporter Caroline Peters explains. Caroline?
Thanks, Megan. 7 people applied and 4 of them made it to the last round as a finalist to be the next Mountaineer mascot. And now we have a new Mountaineer, and it's the most iconic and recognized symbol at West Virginia University. The winner was chosen by a selection committee and announced at the West Virginia versus Iowa State basketball game. All West Virginia natives, the finalists were Timothy Eads, Troy Salentino, Jesse Lackey, and Trevor Keese. Keese currently serves as the backup mascot. After much anticipation, Keese was named the 65th Mountaineer mascot. The selection process evaluated 3 things: GPA, the interview, and the cheer-off. Keese says being named the Mountaineer mascot has been a dream of his since he was little, and he's grateful that it finally came true.
Congratulations to our new Mountaineer mascot.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Mariah Congito.
And I'm Megan Beshara. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.